the first episode of the podcast that is all things comics, all things Star Wars, George Lucas all the time. And this is what we're doing today. And I am your host, Mr. The Prequels. We are introducing a new line of thinking and conversation where all fans of Star Wars and everything comics, everyone is welcome. George Lucas all the time. George Lucas is the key. And Jar Jar Binks is the key. And as we look at the prequels, Star Wars, all things comics, George Lucas all the time, we'll be examining the philosophy of various philosophies as interpreted through the text as has been provided to us by George Lucas and all of the collaborators that he works with and worked with, and then all of the ways of thinking that have been infused into Star Wars, as Star Wars can be seen as a myth text, a text on a religious text, a sacred text, if you will. But it is a way of looking at the world, is what it is. And you have episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then all of the various other Star Wars that comes from that, surrounds it, all of that. As other creators have taken their own interpretation or wishes or agendas, whatever it is, to make Star Wars what they will have it be, and in the way they wish others to see it along with them. And so we're looking at the prequels, and we're looking at the original trilogy as each its own category, its own set. The prequels, episodes 1, 2, and 3. The original trilogy, episodes 4, 5, and 6. But then also, we're going to look at all of these episodes as the complete saga as provided to us by the creator and the master of this universe, George Lucas. Episodes 1 through 6, including the holiday special, the original holiday special, and the Clone Wars, the original Clone Wars, the first one, the miniseries. And then the comics and the books that are authorized by the creator, George Lucas, as we'll know by his words recorded in both audio, visual, and written or printed form. And we'll know which of these the master creator approves of, authorizes. And then there are other aspects of Star Wars too, of one's own interpretation of what the creator has provided. Because George Lucas is the creator of all things in this universe. And we are the stewards of that, and also the encounterers of that. We encounter these things as we engage each other in this universe, Star Wars. episodes 1 through 6, we have a way of speaking, a way of thinking, and a way of communicating in many ways that these ways are foreign to 99% of the population that you meet in civilized society, so to speak. But nonetheless, and at the same time, it is ubiquitous in our society, as much so as is Coca-Cola or Santa Claus or Cinderella or Mickey Mouse. And that is what Star Wars is. It's a fairy tale, it's a fantastical science fiction novella. It is a chapter in the life of many people now listening to this. As you encountered this and at some point in your life became a different person, and based on this myth, this story, and what you did with that and what you do with it is who you are because of George Lucas. And so we will celebrate the creation of George Lucas, but we celebrate and thank and pay tribute to in both our in way of wishing well towards and giving him our money, George Lucas. And so we're going to be looking at all of these parts of Star Wars and ourselves too, as we see each other in the mirror and through the refracted lens of Star Wars. We're going to have a great time. We're going to laugh. We're going to possibly cry in a good way. And then we will talk about all things comics, all things Star Wars, George Lucas all the time. Heroes Unite. And I'm your host, Mr. The Prequels. May the Force be with us. See you next time.